There is a vast resource of water on Earth, of which only 2% is useful to all life forms on the land. But alas, this meager percentage is also getting depleted day by day. There are many reasons for its depletion, like the fast rate of industrial development, release of effluents into these water bodies, high rate of exploitation for fisheries, operation and dumping of huge amounts of sewage. These pressures lead to the proliferation of water weed plants that are gradually destroying the freshwater resources. These weed plants represent undesirable growth of different aquatic plants. The aquatic weed plants may be of different types, and they have been classified by Lawrence in 1955 as marginal weeds, emergent weeds, submerged weeds, and floating weeds. Marginal weed plants are those plants which are rooted and infest the shallow profundal area representing shoreline areas of the water body. Examples are Typha, Scirpus, and Ipomia. Emergent weed plants have their foliage and flowers above water surface, but they are rooted at the bottom. Examples are Nymphia, Trappa, and Marsalia. Submerged plants are those which may or may not be rooted and the plant body remains below the surface of water. Rooted varieties are POTAMOGETON and VALLISNERIA. Uprooted species are UTRICULARIA and CERATOPHYLLUM. Floating weeds have their foliage above water and their roots hang below the water surface. Examples of such plants are Wolffia, Lemna, and Eichhornia. Weed plants affect the freshwater bodies in many ways. In a beneficial way, some plants provide food and protection for aquatic invertebrates like mollusks and vertebrates like fish. Some plants like Eichhornia help to combat pollution since it can absorb at a high rate minerals, nutrients, heavy metals, and organic substances. Some plants like the Azolla have proved to be a good nitrogen fixing agent. Other uses may be as production of biogas, manufacture of paper pulp and board for making mats, and covering of house roofs. These weed plants affect the freshwater bodies in many harmful ways, like some plants interfere with navigation, fishing, and recreational activities. Some plants obstruct water flow and increase water loss by transpiration. Aquatic weed plants provide habitats for organisms which cause waterborne diseases and make water non-potable. Both planktonic and filamentous algae often clog sand filters in water treatment plants. Aquatic weed plants prevent free gaseous exchange between water and atmosphere and also prevent sunlight from directly reaching the water surface, resulting in quick eutrophication of the aquatic body. The biomass of aquatic weeds enhance disintegration of organic matter and result in evolution or emission of reducing gases like methane, hydrogen sulphide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, etc. Algae produce odors and scums that make water unfit for swimming. Fish ponds are destroyed since the weeds increase organic matter. As the organic matter decay, oxygen is consumed, resulting smell of foul water and death of fish. Due to these harmful effects, it becomes necessary to implement controlling measures to reduce or remove the weeds from their aquatic environment. There are 3 methods of weed control. They are mechanical, chemical, and biological. Mechanical control, in which there are various processes like dredging, by which weeds are cleaned from reservoirs like drains and ditches. Drying, in which water is drawn from a pond or ditch so that leaves and stem growth of submerged weeds are restricted. By netting, in which large amounts of floating weeds can be removed in large reservoirs. By handpicking, in which new infestations of emergent weeds can be controlled. By chaining, in which rooted weeds and emergent weeds can be controlled. By burning marginal weeds, perennial grasses, and many of annual weeds can be controlled. Chemical control of weeds may be done by using different concentrations of chemicals. Examples: amitrol applied 5 to 10 pounds per acre controls marginal weeds like typha, floating weeds like eichhornia. Copper ion applied 21.6 pounds per acre controls submerged weeds like cara. Dicyobenyl applied at 7 to 10 pounds per acre controls submerged weeds like cara, UTRICULARIA, najas, elodia, and POTAMOGETON. Diquat applied at 1.5 to 2 pounds per acre controls submerged weeds like UTRICULARIA, CERATOPHYLLUM, elodia, najas, and POTAMOGETON. Floating weeds like lemna and eichhornia. Endothal applied 0.3 to 10 pounds per acre controls submerged weeds like UTRICULARIA, najas, POTAMOGETON. Dalapon applied at 5 to 20 pounds per acre controls marginal weeds like skirpas and typha. Weeds can also be controlled biologically using microorganisms, insects, snails, fishes, aquatic reptiles, and mammals. Microorganisms like Cercospora and Alternaria have been found to effectively control eichhornia. Insects like water flea have been seen to control eichhornia effectively, and the grasshopper and Pollinia controls Salvinia. Snails feed voraciously on weeds like eichhornia, pistia, etc. Fishes like Chinese grass carp, Cyprinius, Carpio, tilapia species, the silver carp can also be used to control various types of weeds. Mammals like sea cow, hippopotamus are voracious feeders of submerged and floating vegetation. Whatever may be the process of control, it is our duty to be aware of keeping the water bodies free from excess pollutants. This will help us in maintaining the natural balance of the aquatic ecosystem without causing proliferation of the aquatic plants, so that the water resources may be of use to mankind.